The main bottom line is that you need to get 110,000 points in any calendar year. And so the easiest way by far is to use the co-branded credit cards from Chase Bank. Hey everybody, welcome to the Abroaders Travel Podcast, your weekly meetup with thousands of entrepreneurs, hustlers, creators, nomads, ninjas, wanderers, and world changers, all seeking to build the skills and connections to live a life without borders. If you want to learn more about what we do or download our entire podcast archive, check out the website, abroaders.com. Happy Wednesday morning and welcome to another episode of the Abroaders Podcast. This one is number 91. I'm recording on Tuesday, October 6th in Brussels, Belgium. And today I want to talk with you guys a little bit about the Companion Pass. We are at the ideal time of the year to go after the Southwest Companion Pass. So for those of you that don't know, Companion Pass basically gives you buy one, get one free rights on all Southwest flights. Now their network is mostly in the United States, but they do have destinations in the Caribbean and are expanding to a couple of destinations in South America. I believe Colombia, Lima, Peru. They definitely have a Mexico route either started or scheduled to start soon. And as I said, a bunch in the Caribbean, so it's becoming a more international airline. And if you have the Companion Pass, you can either buy a flight and only pay the taxes and fees on the second, or even better, use Southwest Rapid Rewards points and pay taxes and fees just on the tickets, that's it, and you'll only pay points for one person. So this is a really big deal, and basically you need to get 110,000 points. So I'm going to jump into some of the specifics of that in the show. Also just wanted to share some news and updates, a few interesting things that have happened around the world of points and miles. Unfortunately, AJ couldn't be here today. We actually did record an episode this morning, but due to some Wi-Fi issues and just not really being able to get a good episode together that we could put on the air. So I'm going to do this one solo, and let's get started. So a couple of things before I get into the core content for today's show. As I said, I'm in Brussels, Belgium, and I've been traveling around here a little bit, and just a couple of observations I wanted to share with you guys, and I'd really love to hear feedback in these show notes if you guys have a comment or experience with this. But the biggest thing that I noticed here in Brussels is how much the cars and buses and all the transit respects pedestrians. This has got to be the safest place in the world to walk into a crosswalk without looking left and right. And I've definitely been in what I think are probably some of the most dangerous ones, especially in Brazil. There are lots of places where the cars are just not looking out for pedestrians. And it kind of struck me as how much of a cultural thing that is. And, I realized that if somebody from Belgium is traveling in Brazil, they're probably some of the most endangered travelers out there. So I was curious from you guys if there were any experiences with that as far as cultural understanding of who has the right of way. Here, literally, you can just walk out in front of a car, or basically even just looking at the crosswalk from 5 yards away from the street will cause a car to slam on their brakes and let you go through. So I thought that was super interesting and definitely going to enhance my safety because I just got back from Lille, France and bought a skateboard, so I probably won't be under too much control, so hopefully they'll continue to yield to pedestrians. The first piece of news that I wanted to jump into on the show today is about plastic.com. It's PLASTIQ.com. And this is one of several websites that's out there that lets you pay your rent, tuition, and taxes, things like that. Normally things that you can't pay with a credit card, and they let you pay those with a card for a fee. The standard fee with Plastic, like most of the other ones, is 2.5%. But for a limited time through October 13th, they are discounting that 2.5% for transactions with MasterCard only and those that are over $500. So the key thing here is it's not just transactions that post through 10/13. It's any transactions that are scheduled through the 13th for, I believe, at least up to a year. So you can basically schedule a year's worth of rent, and as long as you finish scheduling the transaction, all of those transactions are going to happen at 1.5 cents, which, just for reference, is going to be $7.50 in fee per $500 that you're spending. Now, Let's talk about for just a second why this would be a good deal. Generally, you don't want to pay a fee for regular spending because it eats away a lot of the value of your points. So when I say regular spending, I mean just day-to-day purchases that earn 1 point per dollar on your card. In general, you want to avoid that. If you're really good at using points and miles, you're maybe getting 2 to 3 cents per point. If you're flying business class and you typically buy business or first class tickets, then you can easily be saving 5 or 6 cents a piece. So in those cases, it would absolutely be worth it. But a beginner probably with most currencies should assume roughly 1.5 cents per point, especially some of the less valuable ones like Southwest and Sky Miles Delta. Those are going to be harder to redeem. So you want to probably avoid using this kind of fee-based credit card transaction. The exception here is if you're working on a credit card sign-up bonus. So if you're going to be getting an extra 50,000 points, then it totally makes sense to pay that $7.50 fee or $15 worth of fees to get the extra spend that you need to earn the bonus. Now, if you've got a ton of spending and you're going to easily hit the requirement, you can totally ignore this. But for those of you that are maybe only spending $400 or $500 a month on credit cards, but your rent is $800 a month, or maybe you've got friends, you're living in a house with a bunch of people and rent could be even higher. Those are situations where it could make a ton of sense to pay the fee and be able to juice that extra spend, get some manufactured spend in there to be able to hit the bonuses. Okay, so the next piece of news is a really quick one. This is about United Mileage Plus. They're announcing a 30% bonus on partners if you haven't gotten points from that partner in the last year. So 30% bonus from their Mileage Plus partners. It does not include airlines. So this is not partner airlines. These are things like rental cars, shopping portals, dining portals, things like that you can credit to Southwest. So it's worth signing up for. It's probably not going to earn you a ton of points, but it takes about 10 seconds to register. The link is in our show notes, which again is at abroaders.com/companion. What you're looking at here, you'll get to the landing page. It's kind of odd, but they don't actually tell you what you're supposed to put in the box. The number that you put in the box next to register is your Mileage Plus number. And once you do that, you're going to be registered. It's just a one-step thing. And then through November 20th, any points that you earn with partners, automatically going to see that 30% bonus. As I said with this one, the partner flights do not earn credit, but I'm also going to put the link in the show notes to request credit for flights with partners. So remember, if you fly on any Star Alliance airline, you can get credit with United. The amount of miles you earn is typically based on the class of service and the type of fare that you bought. And there are all kinds of complex charts to look at to see how many points you're going to get. But the most important thing is that you claim the miles. So I'm going to send along the link for that on the Mileage Plus website and make sure you claim any flights. Typically, you have up to a year after you traveled to claim the miles. So if you've got old flights that you probably didn't have a frequent flyer number associated with, now's a great time to jump into your United account and get those extra points. Okay, so the next update here has to do with American Express. And basically, I just wanted to let you guys know about two changes. One of them is negative, the other one is positive. The bad one is that Amex Business Open, which is the savings program for Amex business cards, is eliminating the 5% rebate that used to come with Hyatt spending. So essentially, if you stayed at Hyatt property and paid your hotel bill with an Amex business card, you were going to automatically get a 5% rebate in the form of a statement credit. Now, that is still live through January 1st, but after the 1st of January next year, 2016, the 5% rebate is going to be eliminated. So ideally, it would help if you can prepay for any hotel rooms that you're going to be staying at with Hyatt on an Amex business card. You'll still get that 5% rebate. After this change happens, Hertz is going to be the only travel-related Amex Open savings partner. Still a very good one. It's great to get 5% back on car rentals, but keep that in mind. Hyatt 5% is going away. The next one is the good thing is that Amex is now offering credit scores for free with most of their credit card products. And I found this especially helpful because, as you may know from listening to other episodes, Citibank offers Equifax credit scores, their FICO score, on most of their credit cards. And Barclays offers TransUnion scores on most of their cards. So the missing player was Experian. And now Amex is offering those on the vast majority of their personal card products. I believe there may be some credit score viewing on the business cards as well, but definitely on personal. And so now you have access to all three FICO scores. Now, just to make a clarification, there is a difference between seeing your credit report and seeing your FICO score. And so you should know that you can get a free copy of all three credit reports. So from Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion, just by going to annualcreditreport.com. And it's part of the legislation that governs banking and credit cards. So this is a right that you have as a consumer in the United States. You can get access to those annual credit reports. You get one credit report every 12 months, or if you're denied for credit. But the thing that you want to keep in mind here is the credit reports don't tell you your FICO score. They don't tell you that 3-digit number. Now, you can see if there's anything wrong with your credit report, whether there's errors or anything like that. But as far as sort of getting that number that sums up how your credit's doing, that you can track over time, you're not going to get that for free in most cases. So the credit card benefits that offer those are a big deal, and I found it super helpful. And one thing I also wanted to point out, I think that Amex adding Experian is a very good value because there can be huge differences in your score with different agencies. One of the primary reasons for that is that when you apply for a card, the inquiry will post generally to just one of your credit reports. Sometimes the bank does an inquiry with 2 or all 3 bureaus, but in general it's only one. And so there can be some divergence between your 3 reports and your FICO score that comes with them. So I wanted to just share my numbers recently. And let me say as a caveat that my score has been taking a bit of a beating lately. And it's not because of being irresponsible per se, but I'm breaking one of the fundamental rules about credit utilization right now. So as you know, you should try and keep your utilization across the board and on any individual card account down below 30%. And above 50% is kind of like a double red flag. And at the moment, I have one card that's well over 50. It's about 60% utilization because I took a 0% APR for 1 year deal, and I wanted to transfer quite a bit more than 30% of my total credit limit. So I have one card that's doing that, and I actually have another card that's a little bit over 30% at the time some of these posted. So right now, my Equifax score from Citibank is all the way down to 656. So that's pretty bad. That's kind of out of the range where you can expect to get approved for rewards credit cards. On the other hand, my TransUnion score, which I get from Barclays, is at 701, which is great. This is a score that typically you get automatic approvals for most cards. And then my Experian score, which I just got from Amex a couple of days ago, is at 670. And that's sort of the range where you maybe have to call reconsideration, but you're pretty likely to get approved, depending obviously on a lot of other factors. So the key takeaway here is that now, as long as you have an Amex, Citi, and Barclays product, you're going to be able to get access to all 3 scores. Unfortunately, only Citibank and Barclays track your scores over time. So with the Amex one, it looks like, at least for now, your Experian, you're going to have to keep track on your own, record them, write them down somewhere so that you can kind of see how your score is doing over time. And then the last thing is with respect to that utilization, that is something that repairs itself very, very quickly. So that's an important thing to keep in mind if you're in a similar situation where you've got bad utilization, either because you don't have very high credit limits and you had a bunch of spending that you needed to do. When you pay down those balances and lower your utilization, your score typically recovers within a few weeks or a few days even. So that's something to keep in mind. Obviously not ideal, but I don't have the intention of applying for any cards anytime soon. So I'm pretty comfortable with that. And hopefully having access to that information will help you guys make better decisions as well. The last piece of news before we get into the companion pass is about Avianca and their status match opportunity. So right now, Avianca, which is a Star Alliance airline, is offering to match your status from a competing airline up to the top tier. And the really important thing about this is if you have United status, you only have access to the United clubs, the VIP area, when you're traveling internationally. So if you've got a flight within the US and that's your entire itinerary, having United status is not going to get you into the club. You need to have either the United Club card, or you need to have use one of your day passes that you get with the United Explorer card, or have some other access, either purchase or what have you. If you get the Avianca status match, you will get access to the clubs even if you're just flying domestically. So basically, even if you're still a United Elite member, you're going to want to flash your new Avianca Elite status card when you go to the lounge, and they're going to let you in even on a domestic itinerary. So to request this match, you're going to go to email your Elite status card, your full name, and your Avianca frequent flyer number, which is called your Amigo friend number, which I thought was pretty nice. And the email address, promo.amigo@avianca.com.br. So this one's actually through Brazil. We're going to link to the page that explains the opportunity and put that email address in the show notes as well. You may want to use Google Chrome if you don't read Portuguese. That'll make it a little bit easier to kind of understand what's going on, as the offer is in Portuguese on there. But bottom line here is your status will be valid through March 31st of 2017 if you succeed with this challenge, but the offer is probably not going to be there for that long. So if you're going to do it, now is the time you want to act right away. So this status match actually kind of creates a nice segue to the talk about the companion pass, because I am about to lose my companion pass. Mine expires at the end of 2015. I was able to enjoy it for all of 2014, almost. I got it in early January and all of 2015. And so I wanted to talk about how you can get the companion pass. And also, for those of you that have the companion pass, my plan is to try and leverage that status into getting this Avianca status match. So I'll definitely let you know how that goes, but if anybody else has experience with that, or with experience leveraging the companion pass to any other elite status with other airlines, I would love to know about it. It's something I'm going to be looking into in the near future to make sure that I can at least get some other provisional airline status when my companion pass expires. As I said at the top of the show, there are a couple of ways that you can get the companion pass. The main bottom line is that you need to get 110,000 points in any calendar year. And so the easiest way by far is to use the co-branded credit cards from Chase Bank. There's a business card and a personal card. And with Chase, you can apply for a business and personal card on the same day. The only thing that you want to make sure of is that you have given at least 65 days since your last application with Chase. 90 is going to be better. That's sort of the ideal window to give yourself 90 days. And those two cards together will give you 100,000 points as a bonus, plus each of them has a $2,000 spending requirement, so that'll be 104,000 points. That leaves you only 6,000 points to go to earn the companion pass. Now, there is one major caveat here. That is that if you're going to get this companion pass for all of 2016 and 2017, both of those bonuses need to post in 2016, in January, ideally. So what you want to do is, now it's October, the minimum spending requirement timeline or deadline is 90 days for both of these offers. So if you get this card, say around October 10th or October 15th, your deadline for the minimum spend is going to be in the middle of January 10th to the 15th. If you do that, what you want to do is spend $1,950 or so on the card until the end of January, and then put the cards in a drawer. Make sure there's no recurring payments or anything that could accidentally push you over that $2,000 minimum spend in December. You don't want to go over it in December. If the points post to your account, you're not going to get the companion pass. Worst case scenario, if one of the bonuses posts in December and one posts in January, you're not going to get the companion pass at all. If they both post in December, you're probably not going to get it either, because you'll have to generate that additional 6,000 before January 1st. So what you want to do is you want to post those bonuses early January. So spend that extra $50 or whatever's left of your spending requirement as soon as you can in January. And by the way, once you hit that January 1st, as long as the points haven't posted, you're in good shape. You've got as much time as you want. The only rush after January 1st is that the sooner you hit 110,000 points, the sooner you can start using your companion pass. So post those bonuses, get your 100,000 points. You'll also have roughly 4,000 points that you've earned, although a lot of those will maybe have posted in 2015. And then you just need to get the rest of the way to 110,000 points. Now, there are a couple of alternative methods that are worth mentioning here. You should know that transfers from Chase Ultimate Rewards do not count towards the companion pass. So if you're looking at that Ultimate Rewards balance and thinking you might be able to get the companion pass, it's not going to work. However, there are options to transfer from Marriott and also from Hyatt. Now, they don't have very good transfer ratios, so this is not an awesome use of the points, except for in the scenario where you're just need the rest of the points to get the companion pass. Roughly 30,000 Marriott points is going to give you the extra 10,000 you need if you do get these sign-up bonuses, and roughly 21,250 Hyatt points is going to get you over the 10,000 mark. There's also a Marriott transfer and fly, whereas you basically book a hotel package for 6 or 7 days, and you'll, in addition to the points, it's basically a higher rate of points that you pay for the stay, but they also give you some points to the airline of your choice. And so that's a way that you can do it. For example, at like a level 5 property, you're maybe looking at 350,000 Marriott points, and you get a bonus of 50,000 Southwest points on top of booking the 7-night stay. So look at the math. You can find the chart for that on Marriott's website. All in all, I would say definitely do the Chase option if you can by getting those 2 Southwest co-branded cards, the Business Premier and the Personal Premier card. If you're not able to do that, Marriott is probably a better currency to transfer than to use Hyatt, just because the Marriott points are probably a little less valuable. Okay, so the last thing I wanted to point out about the Southwest opportunity is that it is in fact possible to sort of stack these back to back with your travel companion. And what I mean by that, number one, a big mistake is you want to make sure that both people don't apply one for each card. That would eliminate the possibility of getting the companion pass. So if you're thinking about, I'll apply for the business card, my companion's going to apply for the personal card, that's not going to get you there because you got to get all those points in one Southwest account. But the converse of that is that I can get the companion pass now and have that post in early 2016. I'll have the companion pass for 2016 and 2017. And then my companion, my spouse, partner, can get the companion pass the next time around. And so that's a really good way that you can sort of look at potentially getting 4 years of buy one, get one free on Southwest if you play things right. Now, there's certainly no guarantee that they're going to have the co-branded cards available at a 50,000 point bonus 2 years from now. There's no guarantee that points earned from the credit card signups are going to count towards a companion pass. So there's lots of unknowns there, but I can definitely tell you that many of our premium customers and also, I've got a couple of family members that have done this and are looking to redo the companion pass this year after already having enjoyed it for 2 years. The other person, the spouse or travel companion, is now applying for the same 2 cards that the other person had the first time around. So those are some tips and tools for you guys to get started. I hope a lot of you get the companion pass, and definitely reach out to us with any questions. Again, show notes for today are going to be at abroaders.com/companion. Last but not least, I have been waiting all week to share this international jam with you guys. I honestly have absolutely no idea how to say this. AJ turned me on to this one. One of his friends that he met here in Hungary showed him this band. The group is called Punani Massif, and I'm going to just take a shot at the track, but you'll have to check out the show notes if you want to be able to really find it. I think at Koznapi Hozak. Hope you guys enjoy. I will be back next week, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard. Wherever you are, travel safe. Hey brothers, don't be shy. Hop over to the website and join our email list for exclusive travel hacking content. If you like what we're up to, the best way you can support the show is by leaving us a 5-star review on iTunes. Lastly, we would love to hear from you, so send your show feedback to Erik or AJ at abroaders.com. We will see you next week.